Jewelry from 1820 to 1840. The year 1820 brought profound changes in fashion and jewelry design. The waistline dropped at last to a more realistic and natural position, and it is this year, rather than 1815, which seems to mark the end of the Napoleonic classicism. The naturalistic style flourished on both sides of the Chanel. Leaves and flowers, stylized and subordinated to the general, formal design during the Napoleonic era, began to be more representational. After 1830, it was a triumph of roses, cornflowers, leaves of all varieties. The revival of the Marie Antoinette style continued for a few years, supported by the less innovative jewelers who skillfully repeated in open settings typical motifs of the 18th century, such as elaborate scroll work and formal clusters within rich foliate scrolls. Very often, a transitional compromise between naturalism and formalism is detectable in jewels, where stylized flower heads are associated with rich scroll motifs. All in all, jewels were designed to produce the greatest effect at the least cost, and by choice or by force, a large number of semi-precious stones were employed: amethyst, topazes, aquamarines, chrysoberyls, all mainly of Brazilian origin, were favored particularly when mounted in the delicate and often very elaborate canetelle work. The gemstones, generally grouped in clusters, were often mounted in close settings and foiled to enhance and match their colors. The elaborate gold work in the form of gold wire, granulation, scroll, and blur motifs was sometimes completed with small leaves and shells, stamped out in differently colored gold. Parures. Jewelry design between 1820 and 1840 closely followed the evolution of fashion and technical innovations. Gold canetelle parures of the 1820s, set with semi-precious stones and occasionally, especially in England, with rubies and emeralds, but never sapphires, were garnished with leaves, flowers, and scrolls stamped out of variously colored gold leaf. Almost invariably, they include, together with necklace, bracelet, and pendant earrings, a cruciform pendant, often adapted as a brooch at a later date. Towards the year 1840, parures of semi-precious stones set in elaborate scroll work, stamped out of gold sheet, began to appear. Although manufactured out of thin gauge metal, they had the appearance of great substance. Earrings. The most popular earrings in the 1820s and 30s were designed as pear-shaped, elongated drops, suspended from a smaller circular surmount, set with a single stone or with numerous gems in a cluster arrangement. Necklaces. Rivières were extremely common in the 1820s, set either with diamonds or semi-precious stones such as topazes, amethysts, and citrines, and were often accompanied by a cross pendant and a pair of pear-shaped earrings. The collets were usually very large and chunky, especially in diamond rivières, thereby creating the illusion of bigger stones. Long string of pearls and gold long chains of flat linking, often of shield shape and engraved, enameled or gem set, were also in style. Pendants. Pendants were frequently worn at the time on chain necklace. The most fashionable shape was that of the cross, Latin, Greek, or Maltese, carved in a hard stone and set with gemstones, carved in carbuncle, or set with the precious stones, or simply made of gold. The Maltese cross was particularly favored in England, and was very popular set with diamonds, or carved in hard stone such as chalcedony and agate. Other favorite types of pendants were variation of the 18th century girandole or pendeloque designs, usually set with precious and semi-precious colored stones within diamond foliate borders. These pendants often doubled as brooches. In the 1830s, the most acceptable type of brooch was the spray of flowers and leaves, either pavés set with diamonds or, more economically but equally effectively, with various semi-precious stones in colored chased gold. Around 1835, chased gold was substituted with repose work of leaves and flowers surrounding colored stones. The naturalism and romanticism of the period produced attractive bird brooches, in colored gold set with precious and semi-precious stones, and with hearts, olive branches, or forget-me-nots suspended from the bird. Bracelets. Bracelets were commonly worn on each arm, even 2 or 3 pairs at the same time throughout the period. In the early 1820s, bracelets. In the late 1820s and 1830s, bracelets made of wide bands of woven linking, decorated with gold canetelle clasp of oval or rectangular shape and set with colored gemstones were in vogue. The 1830s saw the fashion for enamel bracelets. Geneva enamel plugs depicting girls in regional costumes were set in wide articulated bands of gold scroll, foliate and floral design encrusted with small gemstones. Rings continue to be designed as flower head clusters, set with colored gemstones within gold canetelle and granulation, or as 5-stone half hoop. In the 1830s, the half hoop regard ring was the prevailing fashion. And today, that's all we wanted to discuss. Stay tuned for future podcasts. Goodbye.